Okay, maybe that was longer than the anti-copyright 3 seconds. Maybe it was 4 seconds. Come on, let me get away with that. Okay, I thought I'd stop this tape while we've got the nice view here on the beach. Just watching these guys, this YouTube channel at the moment. And I just wanted to talk about how a lot of you are creating your own virtual realities, as in your life is a virtual reality. Now, a lot of you are doing this. This is a lot. This has an affinity with the organic portals. However, many spirited humans or souled humans are also creating virtual realities, if not completely, partially, because the Archons are influencing our mind. And that's high level, that's like 10th dimensional, where your will is, and they affect your will force even. So this is deep, this is beyond the, like, what people call the soldier reptilians, yeah? So the Archons are said to be the controllers of the matrix grid, you know, in our whole mind structure. Even the dimensions, yes, that's why when we're on psychedelics we see the colourful stuff. We're going inside our own colours. Anyway, so, you know, just another epiphany this morning about this, and not really epiphany, I just wanted to get this on a video. So the Archons create virtual realities, and it's through your mind, and the Matrix is not just the physical structure of, like, the Obamas, the Hillarys, the so-called Illuminati, the secret world going on there, the shadow world. It's not all just that. That's like the lower end of the Matrix. The Matrix is a mind, higher mind control system and frequency control system. That's why there's this guy on YouTube, and I've seen a lot of dislikes on that video. I think he's a black American or African American guy, and he says in his video, when you raise your frequency, the Archons zoom in. And a lot of people criticize that, but something like that is going on. Because I noticed that with my frequency, what he was saying as well. It's like something, energy swoop in on you when you're raising your frequency. I mean, not just physically, I mean in your mind as well. But physically, yeah, the forces that be will zoom in on you as well. And then you get targeting, gang stalking, and the lower end of it as well. But that's just the lower end of it, you know, and that's hard enough to deal with the electronic harassment that I do every day. Lucky I studied IT. Anyway, so, you know, a lot of people are creating virtual realities, and as the virtual reality machines, the physical end of the idea of, like, virtual reality-ism, or the idea of it, the physical creations are now coming in, because that's along the timeline now. We've got the computers revving up their machines, engines, and starting their engines, and, you know, into virtual reality is really, kind of like an encapsulating theme, not just like a little aspect of the machines and the machine intelligence, because they'll make multi-dimensional, you know, virtual realities. Sort of remember IT as a simulacrum, or like a higher copy of biological reality are the computers now. And anyway, let's save that for another lecture. I don't want to go going down a trail there. Well, it connects to the Archons because they have this, a little bit of that energy. It's got to do with the blue ray. The Octurians, you know, are responsible for algorithmic nature itself, just algorithms, and algorithmic nature is Octurian aligned. And also, it's funny that it's the Octurian alignment in the Andromedan Enlightenment via the Octurian alignment now at the end of history. So it's the Andromedan Galaxy Enlightenment and Octurian via the Octurian star alignment, you know. And the Octurians, you know, have algorithmic nature with them, and that blue 8th dimensional light, that's the 8th dimensional blue sort of ray light. Now what this is always going to be code coordinating, because that's what the 8th dimension is. It's like the code coordination. The 9th dimension is the divine pulsations, or you can say time waves, like that Terence McKenna found. And then the 8th dimension is code coordination. So, it's like the tunnel harmonics and part of the 7th dimension as well. And the rays, you know, the ray and the algorithmic nature is the 8th dimensional part. The ray is the 7th dimensional part, the sort of feel that it will ground out into a certain technology, a certain being. That all goes down through the dimensions. That means it's chosen a certain ray. Anyway, the same blue light is active in the Archons, in its 8th dimensional. Of course, since they're 10th, they can reach down dimensionally, because that is how creation occurs, down dimensionally. Upper dimensions are like more essence, more powerful. And you know, the 10th dimension is really your divine mind and your will, and that's what the Archons can affect, your divine mind and your will, and their whole thing is to distract you. It's like a very high polarity, inbuilt polarity device in the universe or something, you know, these Archons. That's how you might think of it, you know. And that'd be like a 5th dimensional perspective, just logically looking at it. So you can look at it from different dimensional perspectives. But let's just talk about the Archons a bit more, what they'll do to us in a body, in a time cell, in a 3rd dimensional monkey body. They'll also cringe you up and keep you in pain cycles, emotional pain cycles. They'll reach down into the 4th dimension on you, and they'll have you fighting with your spouse, stuff like that, arguing over stupid things. They'll come through your friends too, you know. People who are low energy can be entered really easily, and the higher the energy, it seems to be the harder to enter. A higher being seems to not be able to enter a person with a higher vibration as easy. So people who are drinking alcohol and stuff, like just, you know, normal alcohol, not tinctures, because that's an astringent tightening. The opposite is the case in the societal alcohols of like beer, beverages, and, you know, like because it's infested with chemicals and additives and stuff. So anyway, the Archons keep you in pain cycles, and that's about decreasing the vibration once again. Basically, it eats away at your aura after a while, because you can't connect to your higher parts of yourself, because you're always in the 4th dimensional and 3rd dimensional pain body. And so you can't reach higher dimensionally as much, and that's why grounding is like the way to beat Archonic influence. Because when you're grounding, you release all positive charge and pain. And if you do it with cannabis, this is like epitome way to beat Archons. Cannabis and grounding. Now notice I didn't say ayahuasca and grounding, I didn't say mushrooms and grounding, I said specifically cannabis and grounding. That means putting the ball of your big toe on the ground, the K1 meridian spot, not just sitting on the ground. Your feet have to be on the ground. You have to get the kidneys charged and the thyroid filled up like a reservoir of negative charge, and then you'll notice once the negative charge and that alkaline chi makes its way to your crown chakra, the Archonic influence is completely fucking nulled. Check it out. Do it. Try it. Don't believe me. Try it for yourself. But what I've noticed, once you get that alkaline chi, negative ionization to the crown chakra, energetic center up the top of your head, or basically you get the energy to the top of your head, monkey, then you'll notice that, you know, if you can figure out what the Archonic influence is, monkey, that the Archonic influence is nulled and voided. Not voided, but nulled. Let's just leave it at nulled. Not voided, because they keep trying. So their pursuit is never ending, I think. That's me. The Archons are annoying. So, virtual realities are being created, and a lot of people are living these. Now, virtual reality will really be when you're working all of your day as well. Like, I notice a lot of people are locked into it here in the third world, here in Uruguay where I'm living. A lot of people are locked into that, and they don't realize that that's not what they would want for themselves or something. Like, I don't know how they don't realize that. Some people do, but a lot of people don't, and that's weird that they don't realize that that's not what they would want for themselves, which shows you they're not in touch with themselves, yeah? They're not present. Like I say, the organic portals, it's like their starlight hasn't reached them yet. They're not bright yet, yeah? They're very dim in consciousness and light, the light of consciousness. So, and we increase that by grounding. Everybody, go put your feet on the beach. It's not that difficult, yeah? And so the Archons are like a control matrix protagonist. They're always going to be there. If you watch the Star Trek, you know that series Star Trek made by like not Gene Roddenberry, but like some random people, and they're like side series, and what are they called? The Star Trek Helena Chronicles, I think. Or is it? It's adjacent to there, somewhere around there. They've got Archons in it. If you watch, yeah, there. I think that's them, isn't it? Yeah, she plays a blue Archon in another video. I think that's not an Archon. So if you can find what I'm talking about, when you see not that lady, but this lady here, when you see her in blue, not the lady on the screen now, but this lady talking, when you see her in blue on a thumbnail or something, that's the video I'm talking about, the series. And they actually play Archons in that series, and this is not created by Gene Roddenberry. It's not the Helena Chronicles, I think it's one adjacent to this. So anyway, it's her playing a blue character, and she plays an Archon. And we could see if that's it, but you should do that in your own time. And anyway, so the point is that she's playing an Archon, and they kind of show the energy okay. Like, you know, they don't show all the energies of an Archon, but some of the things they show are very Archonian energies, and it's her playing a blue character Archon, okay, in some other one. I don't think it's Helena Chronicles, but it's very close by. It's one of these non-Gene Roddenberry Star Trek, so just YouTube for a little while and you'll come across it. It's like a little mini-series like this, like it has like 10 videos or something maybe. Anyway, so they're showing that like kind of the sexual part. She is like, actually he plays in it too as an Archon like slave boy, and he's like the slave boy of her, and that's actually very Archonian energy, like that. And but you see, that's interdimensional energy coming through the people, okay? When you're saying Archonian energy, it's not like a physical Archonian guy farting on a chair sitting in front of you appears. Like, that's not how this works. It comes through your mind, okay? So once you start exploring your mind, you meditate and you take psychedelics and think for yourself and stuff, and you'll know what I mean. But yeah, the Archonian energies were displayed a little bit in that, and how she is, like, very cruel and stuff, and like wicked witchy kind of thing, that energy. These energies are Archonian. Also, the Archonians are shown to be creating a like wormhole, interdimensional wormhole, in the series that I'm talking about, of this like I don't want to say fake Star Trek, but like not created by Gene Roddenberry, the original guy. It's like a side Star Trek created by randoms. And they also show like wormhole energy, basically. The energy of it, you know, just the idea, the energies of creating wormholes, what you might, as a being of some sort, do and come across and inflict. You know, just give them the idea of that a little bit. And I guess that's all the energies they really display in it, but it was worth mentioning. Yeah, anyway, here's my YouTube channel. I think I'm going to stop it there. Look, the virtual reality thing is important because it's hard to see. People don't see it, that they're creating a virtual reality. You know, I've done this myself in the way of presuming things about people. So don't presume things about people, because that's how we can be led along this like path of creating a virtual reality, and it's a path. When the Archons create a virtual reality for you, they do it in stages, and the Archon's virtual reality staging is definitely played out in like Bilderberg group and Illuminati style, drop by drop, that analogy, how they change the world drop by drop for the worse. Anyway, so that's Archonian energy. That's how they move. The reptilians don't move like that. You see what I'm saying, bros? Yeah? See, the reptilians, they move like, you know, sneaky. That's a different energy. Slyly, like a snake, like a reptile. You know, and a bit sneaky, and then bang, they'll bite you and eat you. Like, you know, it's a different energy to how an Archon moves or works, you know? They're more methodical, and they're more intelligent, and they're very high-dimensional, these Archons, so it's very interesting, because if the Archons are 10th dimensional, and the Octurians are said to only be 8th, 9th dimensional, then it's interesting, what is the higher positive? You know, Octurians are like, we're kind of like good guys, but see, that's, I think, misportrayed. It's not really like Octurians are good guys and Archons are bad guys. It's like the 5th dimension releases all duality of that concept of right or wrong. So actually, if we're talking higher dimensionally, we can't even bring the lower dimensional ideas up there. That's not what it's like up there. It's not the way to describe it. It's incorrect meaning. And so you can't say that they're good or bad, the Archons or the Octurians. They have purpose and reason and meaning for being, and that's all you can say. Like, and then you can describe their meaning and purpose of being and what they do, which is what I'm trying to do. Now, why would you want to create a control grid? Say you're a god or whatever the hell is going on here, the creator of this virtual reality program, this universe or whatever this is. You know, why would you want to create that antagonistic force? Well, remember, that ends up playing out in duality and in the 4th dimensional infinite emotional zone of infinite variety of feeling. So, and in this 3rd dimensional duality of being and embodiment and physicality. So, you know, this plays out lower dimensionally as a way to evolve, an antagonistic force ahead of you in the sight of your ego. The 3rd dimensional sovereign seed point is what the ego is. Your 3rd dimensional sovereign seed point, by the way. So you don't want to kill it, because you're killing yourself, in a way. Yeah, look, the ego needs to be made. The ego needs to be made porous, but not killed. Let's get it correct. And because it's the sovereign seed point, where your sovereignty is really seeded and is really manifest, you know. Because the 3rd dimension is the living dimension. We're embodied in time cells. We're in a body. Anyway, so these high dimensional beings not embodied in time cells. Get it? They're antagonistic to us, it looks like to me, for the reason of evolution, if not some other higher reason that I can't yet see. But, you know, just for the reason of evolving us, and that plays out as evolution, basically. And the antagonistic force, because, you know, you can look at this and go, well, why would there be bad interdimensional beingnesses and essences in a negative sense, very, very high in the universe, so to speak, Ben? Well, yeah, that's what I was thinking, like, why would you have that? And it seems for evolution, you know, so that there is a path of trajectory to be able to be taken. The family of dark, the dark side, yeah, sets up the structure for the family of light to traverse the way out to freedom and love, to become the family of love, which is really ultimately, I think, the universal evolution, actually. Expanding loving oneness, you know. Okay, so that's a bit on the Archonian energies. Benjamin Cowberg from consciousazine.com. And that's not how you spell it if you put it in the browser. You're gonna write like that.